one of the best speaking gigs I ever did, where you have those days where you're like, I was on my game today. That worked really well. I had some good stuff to say today. But also the environment, the communication, the rest of the panel, it was all brilliant. When my daughter was 10 weeks old, I was invited to be on a panel. And because I had another baby and I'd had a fairly good recovery and she was great, as long as she was hanging out with me, I could take her with her. My mum came along and it all worked brilliantly, and it was only going to be for half an hour, 20 minutes away from my house. So it was all very straightforward. And yet there was a voice in the back of my head of 10 weeks, your baby's only 10 weeks and you're talking to 200 or 300 people in a room, should that be happening? I also got stuck in what am I going to wear? And I was feeding my daughter and obviously just finding my feet with all of that. I didn't have any trousers that fit, and the leggings that I had were really old and not great, and I didn't want to buy more, because all of that sort of stuff. I really got stuck in my head. And so I wore quite a baggy top on the top, and then I tied up some trousers and made them work for me. So you couldn't see it. There was a lot of kind of maneuvering, let's just say. But there was something about that day that connected. And this is why I want to encourage you to speak up today. There was something about my energy that people could almost tell. And I did say, I had a baby 10 weeks ago. Let's see how we go. Me being in my current position, showing up as I was, and being in that new postnatal energy where you're talking about all of these things, and we were actually talking about money on the day. So it felt there was a vulnerability in what I said. There was an openness. There was a connection. That is sometimes what you need in the room. We think that it's all going to be about the expert status, or I've done this, or I smashed through this, or I was on this list, or whatever it might be. I've written 9 books, all of this stuff. And that can be important and valuable and brilliant. We absolutely should celebrate all of that. But sometimes it's about connection. Sometimes it's being that person who's going to open up the conversation, who's going to give you that space to be who you are. If you would like help to speak up, you can do this on your terms. Send me a message and there's 25% off at the moment.